So one of the hardest things that you have to accept when starting out as a writer is that the manuscript that you're working on might not be the one. It might not get you an agent, it might not sell to a publisher, and it might not become the book that changes everything for you. And you have to be okay with that. Because if your belief system is, I'm going to spend a year writing this novel, and when I'm done, somebody better publish it, you're setting yourself up for a life of misery. Um, and of course, yes, sure, sometimes that happens. Sometimes somebody writes their very first manuscript and it sells. Um, that is rare. In my experience, that is very rare, and you can't build your expectations around being that exception. You have to approach this whole writing game with the possibility that it might take 3 manuscripts, it might take 8 manuscripts, or maybe even more. You have to accept the possibility it might not happen at all. And I know that sounds incredibly discouraging because writing a novel is a ridiculous amount of work. You can spend a year or two on something, maybe even longer, hundreds or thousands of hours getting everything in your mind just right. And then you finish it and nobody wants it. And then you think to yourself, what the hell is the point of this after all? But the point is that you wrote it, which is something very few people do. The point was you learned how to write a novel, and then you learned how to write maybe another one, maybe another 2, 3, or 4. And you have to look at those early manuscripts as your apprenticeship. Because if you ever wanted to become a great carpenter, nobody would first think that you're just going to build a table. You're going to learn the craft. You're going to learn how to sand. You're going to be sanding a lot before you learn how to carve anything. And that time isn't wasted. And with writing, each manuscript will teach you something that the previous one didn't. Even after you're published, you are going to continue to learn. You learn pacing, you learn structure, you learn character. And you start to trust your instincts over time, and they're going to hone more and more of your manuscripts into something that's better and better with each pass. You begin understanding what kind of stories you're actually trying to tell. And eventually, all that work is going to let you find your voice. And once you find your voice, your true voice, that's the game changer for everybody. And I think the problem is, as writers, we tend to make the mistake of attaching a commercial expectation to every piece of practice. And we think that just because we spent a year or two writing something, the world owes us. And it doesn't at all. And it probably won't react to that manuscript. There's a good chance of that. But that does not mean that year or two were wasted. A manuscript can fail commercially and still be incredibly successful in what it did for you as a writer. And then, of course, there's the flip side of all of this, which I think is worth remembering, because writing is hard, patience is hard, and it's especially hard if part of your dream is that someday all that work will be supporting you financially. But one of the best things about being a writer is that the best can always be yet to come. You don't age out of this profession. Your biggest book doesn't have to happen when you're 30 or 40 or 50. You can spend 20 years doing this and then have your breakout. And that's what happened to me. I've been writing and publishing books for 20 plus years, and it was my 10th published book, Tell Me What You Did, that changed the trajectory of my career. And I couldn't certainly have known 20 years ago what was eventually waiting for me. But I always knew the best could always be yet to come. And that's the strange bargain that we make when we decide to become writers. There are no guarantees about when or if something is going to happen, but there's also no expiration date about when it can happen. So yeah, you might spend years and years and years in an apprenticeship. For me, it was 9 years from when I wrote my first word in my first novel to when my first book actually hit the bookstore bookshelves. So if you're working on your first manuscript right now, absolutely believe in it. Give it everything you have. Finish it, revise it, send it out. Try like hell to get it published. Absolutely. But don't make publication the only way that manuscript gets to matter. And if it doesn't happen, write the next one. Then write the one after that. Because maybe the manuscript that finally changes your life is number 4. That's what it was for me. It was my 4th that finally got published. Or it could be manuscript number 14. Who knows? And the fact that we don't know, I think there's something kind of wonderful in that.